Good morning, everyone. My name is Hleziphi Napaai. I'm the College of Graduate Studies librarian, but I'm also dealing with some subject areas in the College of Human Sciences, which is communication science, information science, history, politics, and linguistics. I represent a team of 16 personal librarians. We are all assigned to different colleges and we service different departments. So my brief this morning is to take you through on how you're going to search for research methodology resources for your research topics. I'm just going to take you through to a few slides, and then we're going to go through a live demo. Firstly, I'm going to take you through to the library catalog. I'm sure by now you all know how to navigate through the catalog, where you're going to search for either print or ebooks on your research methodology. We're also going to look at how you're going to find research methodology articles on your specific subject area, or just generic methodologies like your qualitative, your mixed methods, or even your quantitative research methodology articles. And I'm going to go through what we call the research support tab on your library guides. You know by now that you each have a library guide for your subject-specific requirements. On those tabs, there's what we call a research support tab, where you'll find print, ebooks, and even databases that you can search. And I'm going to showcase one database under that, which is called Sage Research and Methods Online, and we'll go and do a demo there. Firstly, this is how you're going to enter the library. I'm sure by now you are familiar. Remember the last time I told you that please don't enter the library using your My UNISA entry point. Just use the library tab on that gray bar to enter through to the library. This is the library homepage, and now we're going to go and search for the catalog, or you can search the catalog via your library guides, where you can, when you enter the first page of the library guide, you will have the library page duplicated there. You can either go through the book tab and search for any books on research methodology. Remember, on the library guide, at the bottom part, there are services for all the postgraduate students. Please go and orientate yourself there. See what you are entitled to as a postgraduate student. And what is key here, it's your UNISA libraries, which are called the branch libraries that we have. When you want to borrow books or when you want to use any of our branches, you can go there and get more service or get your books delivered there, like I said before. Now we're going to go through the link from the main library page on library guides. Remember, I told you previously that you all have a library guide. I said to you, just orientate yourself through this guide. As soon as you know the library guide, your subject-specific library guide, you will be able to use the first entry point of the library, which is the library portal. So on the library guide, you can either go under books to search, or you can just go on the first page there where we duplicate the main library homepage. When you click on that page, you come to a page like this. Remember the default here, it's under the title, where you want to search a title of a book. But I've just used an example here on research methodology. Because I'm responsible for information science, I've used the information science examples as a librarian, of course. And here I've searched under research methods and information science. And this is a keyword search. So you are all welcome to use your own specific subject areas. You can even go and search under research methods, or you can use research methodology and use the Boolean operator, which is your AND, when you connect the word either in communication science, or you can say, I'm looking for research methods and psychology, or and communication science and history and whatever. You use it as a keyword to see what comes up. So in my instance here, with these keywords, I managed to get more than 19,000 items. Remember, your keyword search, it's a broad search. You can either limit according to the dates, or you can say to the system, I'm actually interested in the subject. I want to search for books that speak on research methods or methodologies in my specific subject area, whether it's psychology, whether it's history, whether it's music, or it's any of the subjects that you are registered for. So the system is going to gather information on research methods in that specific subject area. But this is too big because I don't want to go through so many items. And you can see what comes up here. It's all the print books on this particular keyword search, and also some of the ebooks. And remember, if you do a keyword search, it doesn't mean you get the exact hit, but what the system does, it ranks the books that you've searched for according to relevancy. So in my instance here, under research methods and information science, the system says to me, most relevant titles entries are between 1 and 7, meaning these terms that I've used will appear in the title. Any of the terms that I've used will appear in the titles of the books that I've just searched. So you can see the first one here, it's a print book and it says available. If I'm available in Pretoria or somewhere in Joburg and I can drive through to Pretoria, I'll just click on this title of the book because it speaks to, excuse me, it actually speaks to what I'm actually looking for. It's a handbook of research on connecting research methods for information science research. So as a librarian and as a student in information science, I would rather go for this book and just look at it and see whether it will answer the research methodologies that I want to undertake as an information science student. And you can also do that. It will give you the first top list on your search will be the most relevant one. So if I want to look at this book, remember the last time I told you, you have to click on the title of the book so that you can engage with the book. You don't have to just press the request button and then you find out that the book that we sent to you after all your efforts, it's actually not the book that you want to use. So you go and click on the title. It will open the full bibliographic details of the book. What is nice with these books, especially the most recent ones, will give you a summary of the book where you can just read a little bit. This is like an abstract, what this book is all about. And in some instances, it will also give you a table of contents. So before you even press the request button, it will tell you whether what you want in this book, it's really the book that you want to use for your assignment or for your research report. So once you click on that particular request button, remember I told you the last time that there is a verification and notification where you have to tell us where to send this book to. If you are near any of our branches and you stay in Durban or Polokwane or wherever, you can tell us, please send this book to this particular address. If you don't do that, we send it to your registered address. On the same search, let's say you don't have time to request any of the print books that you just made a search on. You are allowed to go and say, with the same information that I'm looking for. You use that drop-down menu there, and then you just say, I'm only interested to look what kind of ebooks do you have under this topic of research methods in information science or information science. So you use that drop-down menu and you click on ebooks. The system now, it will just sort of like refreshed from the entire search of all kinds of books, whether it's print and and just give you a list of ebooks. And at your level, 1 or 2, 3 ebooks on research methodologies will work, because you don't want to, and you can't even use the entire book. You'll have to go through the list, and obviously it will give you the most relevant ones first on your list. And then you can see the first one, it's still that first one that we looked, it comes as a print book and an ebook. And then you have research methods in library and information science. So this second one, it actually speaks to what some of the students registered for this particular subject area will want to go with. Again, you click on the title of the book. It will refer you to the link, because we don't hold these books in the library. We subscribed to them. They sit with publishers somewhere where we make a subscription, whether it's Sage or Taylor and Francis, depending who the publisher is. And it will tell you that these particular books, they are only restricted to all our registered students and our academics and all our researchers. So you have to click on the link to get to the book. But before you even go there, it's like when you want to request the book, just look at the summary of this particular book and look at the table of contents, because you may be interested to go now to the publisher's website with data being key here. You just don't want to climb onto a publisher's page only to find that the particular book that you thought you were interested in, it's not going to assist you with anything. So look at the table of contents, and this one is actually so relevant that it has so many chapters that you can download. And remember, the mantra here is that only 10% of a book can be downloaded. You're not allowed to download the entire book. It will also depend on the publishers. In some instances, you'll go on a publisher's website of an ebook, and then you see a downloadable link. What that means is that you can download the entire book for that particular moment. But as soon as you've done using the book, in some instances, when you go back the next day, when you want to check, the book has disappeared, meaning the publisher allows you to use the book for that particular moment. The downloads are not of the entire books are not allowed, because they are against copyright issue. Just imagine the publishers will go bankrupt if all these ebooks we can all, willy-nilly try to download all these books. So they allow you to download, meaning they will allow you to use the book a day or two, but eventually the book will disappear. So it means you can just go and look at the table of contents, use the parts that you want, stay to the 10% downloadable option because of copyright issues. So once you've looked at the table of contents, you click on that link, it will send you where this book is sitting. It's with the publisher. In this case, it's with an IJI Global, which is the publisher of this particular book. And there's your table of contents there. There's your table of contents in the book. This is the title of the book. It also has a full text downloadable option. You are allowed to do that, but remember, you can't keep the book for yourself. It's just for your use, and then from there, the publisher will disappear eventually. And remember, you have logged on to these publishers, so the university knows who's downloading this particular title of a book. If there are issues, and you try to be smart and do something with this book, the university will be able to identify the person that has logged in with this particular student number from this particular venue that has tried to download this type of a book. So be very careful with the ebooks. With articles, it's a free for all. You can download as many articles as you want, but with ebooks, there are restrictions. So when you click on that table of contents, obviously you'll get to the chapters that are now sitting in this particular ebook. Then you can just go and engage with different chapters and see whether there are about 2 or 3 of the chapters that you can use. You are allowed to save the link of an ebook, and once you've gone through certain chapters, you can go again and do 1 or 2, 3 chapters and do another 10% of the downloadable ebook chapters, but you can't keep the entire ebook to yourself. Okay, that's when you want to search for print and your ebooks via your either the library catalog or through your library guide, using that link to search for books or to search the catalog. And secondly, if you want to use the research methodology to search for research methodology books, you can go to your library guide again. Remember the article tab on your library guide. You go to your article tab link, there it is. And then remember, I said to you, in each subject area, there are databases that are listed there for you to use. Those databases for you to search for topics of your choice, but you can also search for research methodology items using the same databases. So if you click on the first one, you know now that as I showed you the last time, that EBSCO is hosting a lot of subject areas. It's a long list of these subject areas. You know, I couldn't go down because of the space here. So you go and now engage with what is listed under your subject. You click on the first one, depending where you go, but most of them are hosted by EBSCO. And then you go here and then decide which of these subject areas talk to your own need. So in my field of library and information science, I've selected the top 2, and of course, communication science is part of, it used to be part of library and information science, and there are 2 core databases for information science. Obviously, I'll take those. If I was in psychology, I would choose all of these psychology databases. And at the bottom, there are education databases. There's your business source. There's your some of the subject areas that are taught here covered by these. So you just choose what you think is your subject, and then you press OK once you've selected. When you land on the OK button, remember when you enter first here, you have to go and choose databases, because there's no way that you can just select one database hosted by EBSCO and thinking you're going to get a comprehensive search. So choose your databases, OK, and then the system will search. Now, with my example here, I'm searching across 6 databases or 5. So what I've done here is to use the same search string that I've used when I was searching on the catalog. I was just saying research methods. I started opening this, but there was, remember, these are international databases, and when you search across databases, you're bound to come to thousands and thousands of databases of articles, and I don't have time to go through that. So what I've done here is to use research methods in quotations, because I want research and methods to be next to one another. So I put this in quotation marks, and just note that when I was searching the catalog, I didn't do that, because with the catalog, it works differently. But here, I'm using the quotation marks because I don't want the research in the title of my article, methods in the subject, and somewhere in the abstract. So I want the two words to be next to one another. So I put it in quotation marks, and I use the Boolean operator and to connect my words. I'm looking for research methods in information and library science. This is my subject field. So you guys, whatever you are registered for, you can use research methods in quotes, or you can use research methodology in quotes and put your subject field as a Boolean, using an and as a Boolean operator, and put here, if you are in psychology, you can just say psychology or education or history or politics or political science, whatever you want to, whatever you are registered for. I started using this as a keyword. So this select a field optional, it's your keyword. I started using this as a keyword and I got so many articles. But then I've decided, give me this research methods in the title. Give me all the articles that have research methods in the title of all the articles. I don't mind if information and library science, it's in the subject field or it's in the abstract, but I want to use research methods as I want a hit of all the articles that I'm going to pick up. So you can change this using the drop-down menu to title, keyword, to whatever, but I've decided I want all my articles to have research methods in the title. But then before I even press, I've searched before, and then I've started now. I want to do all the limiters because I can't go through thousands and thousands of articles. So I've done that here, and then I've searched, and then I realize this is what comes up. But then I go and do other limiters. I tell the system, I'm only interested in peer review articles. You go and tick your peer review articles, that's your first. And then if you want recent dates, because remember these articles, they are archives, they go to the 1970s or 1960s. So you can tell the system, I'm only interested, in my case, I said, I'm only interested in articles that were published between 2015 and 2023. You limit according to peer review, the date of publication, and then you tell the system, I can only read English because these are international database. You'll find Chinese, Mandarin, you'll find Korean and all the other international languages. So you say to the system, I can only read English. So you limit according to your needs, but first your peer review, because you don't want articles, newspaper clippings, or you don't want magazines. You want only academic peer-reviewed articles. So I've refined my search. And then as you're doing a search, as you're doing searches, you'll find these on your left panel. You limit according to your peer review, your year of publications if you want to, and then you tell the system, I can only read English. And you've used your Boolean operator and to combine with. And then you search. So it gave me about 26 articles, and I can handle that. But then what do I do with this list? So for you to be able to put these lists to either your email or to export them to a file or to save them, you have to use a plus sign. So can you see this plus sign? If I click on it, it changes into like an envelope. It becomes a folder. At the top there, we have what we call a folder. If you start putting stuff in the folder, it will change to this and it will sit at the top there, or it will be on your folder view. So all the articles that you are now selecting from this list will be in your folder view. The hourglass there, it's when you want to interrogate the article, because it gives you a summary of the abstract. If you want to see more, you click on that hourglass, it will tell you what this whole article is all about. You just put your cursor there and it opens the entire abstract. So it makes you, it lets you to, to be informed whether this is the relevant articles, because you don't want to just select articles because you see this one has a PDF and you are excited. This is the actual article. What if it doesn't speak to your research question? So look at the abstract, then you can start making your selection. So all of these will sit on your folder view. And when you open your folder view, it will allow you to either, people don't print anymore because we don't sit with these articles all over the place. So you'll either email the list to yourself. And of course, most of this will come with PDF documents. So if maybe, let's say you've done a search and you only need 1 or 2 articles, so it will be best for you to just click on the PDF and opens it and then download 1 or 2 articles. But if you need a list, you put them in your folder and then you email it to yourself, or you save it, or you export it. But if you decide to open a PDF document, this is how it will look. Either you'll have a direct PDF or you'll be directed to the publisher's page where this article is sitting, where it will give you, then you have to go to the title of the journal, the date, the volume, and the issue number to get to the article. But in most instances, it opens the PDF, which you can download, or you can say, I want the PDF version of this article and save it somewhere or send it to your email. So there's your download. If you want to download it directly from your searching, or you want to list all of them and put them in your folder and send them to your email for a later download. I think we've done that when we did our previous training, showing you how you're going to download. Showing you how you're going to email. And once you get that confirmation, then you are fine. You can decide whether you want PDFs sent to your email, or you want just references with the links to PDFs sent to your email. Right. On the same library guide of all the subject discipline, we have what we call a research support tab. On the research support tab, what we've done, we've placed generic books on research methods. Some of these are print books and most of them are ebooks. So if you want to read about any methodology, you'll pick up that there are new books here. And then at the bottom there, we have books on the research processes. So in each and every guide, we have actually, and these are alerts. These are actually some of the recent books. These are permanently set. You'll find books on research on specific topics. If you are interested in that particular methodology, you'll check what new books have come in, and it will be a mixture of both e and print books. But what is key also here, in each subject area, all of us as personal librarians have placed some of the, in your subject area, some of the books that talk to research methodology, so that you don't have to battle. You can either go and do a search and see what's currently there under research methodology in your specific area. But we've just hinted some of the books that we have in this library on research methods in your specific field of study. So you guys have, each of one of you have this tab in the middle where we say, these are research methods books for information science students. So it's a long list. You can go and have a look if you are registered for this module. And in all the other guides, there will be a sort of like, we're trying to showcase the kind of research methodology books that we have in each subject area. But what is nice now is that we have this lovely database, the SAGE Research Methods Online, and it's listed in all the guides. The SAGE Research Methods Online, it started as a social science database, but it has grown into all kinds of discipline. It's compiled by research methodology experts, your gurus, people who are experts in any kind of methodologies, people who are experts in qualitative research methods, in quantitative, in interviews, in in surveys. So this is a database that you should learn how to use. And it gives you ebooks, it's got videos, it's got little clips on each and every kind of methodologies. And in some instances, some of those videos, if it's locked, it means UNISA doesn't subscribe to it. But if it's open, you are allowed to listen to the interview, to the clip, whether you are working on interviews, whether you are working on whatever. And it also, it's nice because it will give you snippets of methodologies. An expert will talk to you about what is qualitative research method and what does it entail. An expert will tell you how you can conduct an interview or surveys. So you listen, and those clips are used for educational purposes. So I would love you to go and look at it. But what I want to go and showcase is this particular database. In my next slide, I'm just showcasing it. You click on it, and then it opens on this page. It has been revamped. It looks different. It's got what we call, you can browse according to subject areas. But it's got a lovely tool, which it's called the SAGE Research Methods Map. And the tool is actually so informative that I would expect you, when you are new in this methodology field, you go and inspect it. But I'm going to just pause. I want to show you how the tool looks like. When you click on that tool button, it opens the research methods. It actually maps the methodologies for you. It tells you, this is the journey on methodologies or on methods. If you click here, it tells you when you embark on research methods, all of this talks to research methods, whether it's philosophy of research, whether it's research ethics, and each and every topic that forms the tentacle of research methodology. It will give you articles, it will give you videos, it will give you ebooks, it will give you e-references, refer you to like your encyclopedic information where you can go and read about a methodology. What is it all about? And all of these are downloadable. It's free of charge. So methods are mapped. If you're not sure what you want to do, you can go and use the SAGE. I'm just going to go quickly and demonstrate SAGE research methods to you, but I can at this stage also take some questions if there are any before I switch off to a live demo. I want to showcase the SAGE research methods online. I'm not sure whether you guys are happy with how you're going to search for everything from the catalog to articles of your specific subject area, or you want me to start there. But first, let's rather go to our library guides. Remember, I told you that you all have a library guide under your subject areas. So when you click on that library guides link, you can say, give me the guides, because there are some generic ones. Give me by subject, because I want my own subject guide. So you limit according to your own subject. I'm responsible for information science. I'm using it as a launching pad here. I'm going to click on information science library guide. And then I land on this page. Remember, I told you if you want books, you can either go and click on books, but you can search the library catalog from this page. And the same with articles. You can search your research methodology articles by using the article tab. But I want to showcase the research support tab because the brief this morning is that we have to showcase what kind of information we have on research methodologies. I told you that there are new books on research methodology. This is an automatic alert which has been created by the librarians, by the personal librarians. It's a feed. Each and every time there's a new book on methodologies that has been acquired in this library, be it an e or print, it appears here. So this is just a highlight of what kind of new books on research methods, on research methodologies do we have in the library. And on each and every library guide, we have just placed generic information on methods, methodology books or research method books in those specific subject discipline. So in my subject area, which is information science, you can see the list is long. So I keep on changing the list and trying by all means to place the newly acquired or the more relevant books. So these, if you click on any of these, they will take you to the catalog. If it's a print book, you can request it. If it's an ebook, we can go online and just read the book there or download some of the chapters in that book. But also generically, we've placed books on research processes. We have created also an alert, which is a feed on books on writing your research proposal. You're not there yet, or this is meant for M students, or books on academic writing. Also here, this will be either print or ebooks that you can, it's a feed. When you click on it, it takes you to books that talk to this particular topic, how to write academically. And we also have books on plagiarism. We have books on ethics and research design and so on. So this is for you to go and explore. But what I want to showcase here, it's this database, but I must also talk to Sage Knowledge because it's the same publisher. Sage Knowledge will give you reference sources, your dictionaries, your online dictionaries, your online references. Let's say you want to know how to write a literature review. You can go and search on Sage Knowledge. It will open an encyclopedia and give you a part on literature review where it will tell you how to undergo a literature review. I'm not saying Sage Research Methods Online will not give you anything on literature review, but here you have e-books, handbooks, and reference sources, and some of the case studies that have been done on certain research methodologies. So as important as it is for you to use this one, it's also key that you must also use Sage Knowledge. They are both talking to research methodologies, but I just want to showcase this one, Sage Research Methods. Of course, the system is going to ask you to authenticate yourself and tell us who you are, because we have paid a lot of money for these databases. So I'm authenticating. It's now going to make sure that I enter this space. Remember, this is a generic problem, and please, and another one, it's a 404 error message. When you go to the library's page there under library announcements, can you see library announcement? The 404 error message displays, it's still there. And sometimes it's either the 404 or it's this catalog page that comes through. What you have to do always is to just close it and go back to what you were doing. You close that and go back to your database and tick again. Remember, I've authenticated. Even with the 404, just close, tick again on your Sage research method or whatever database you want to search. It will open it for the second time. Don't say, it's not working. I've realized this morning that this off-campus link is not working. I've reported it. So initially, when you land on this page, you have this. Remember, I told you that you can browse according to any subject area. When you browse according to disciplines, it actually limits you to only what you are looking at here. So you can see it covers a lot of subject areas. You can go and check. If you are in engineering, education, economics, what kind of research methods does this database give you? But what I want to show you is that you can use the tools map, what we call methods map. When you click on the methods map, it's going to bring up that the map, where it's going to map methodologies for you. What is nice with methods map is that it actually gives you an explanation what the research methods are. It tells you, it gives you a definition of what this is or what methodologies are all about. But it also gives you links, what is composed of research methods. It says here, key concepts in research, philosophy, research ethics, you name them, but there's more. So you can click on more. So now you know when you speak of research methods, you're talking about all of this. You're talking about all of this, and each one of this has its own components. If I, for instance, I want to look at the research design, I'm going to click on it. It's going to map research design for me. It says now you are here, but you are looking at research design, and research design, it's mapped according to this. Can you see how it works? Let's say I'm looking at, I'm a historian and I just want to look at historical research, or I want to look at feminist research or experimental design or whatever. I have to click on what I've selected as a methodology. Or should I, let's say I want to look at comparative research, I'm going to click on it. What it does, it's also mapping that for me. I can't just take it in isolation. So comparative research is composed of comparative effectiveness of research, cross-case analysis, cross-national research. And in all of this, it gives you a definition. If, for instance, I wanted information on all three, I would click here for search all content on this particular methodology. And what it does, it's now going to give me different contents. It's going to say to me, for comparative research information that you are looking for, we have here on your panel, we have books, which are ebooks, we have references, we have journal articles, or if you want the entire content, I can say, I want all content. And all of this, you can open as you wish. And if a key is locked like this, remember I told you that if something is locked, that it's not, we don't subscribe to it. It will give you a mixture of stuff. There are case studies, there are videos. It's different content. It's on your right panel. It's up to you what you want to look at. If I want to say, I don't want all content, I'm only interested in journal articles, it will just give me journal articles. And then I apply the filter. And then, okay, there are no journal articles for this one. Let me just get something which is user-friendly. Back to my research methods. I'm going to look at qualitative research method. And for qualitative data analysis research method, you get an explanation of what it is. If you want everything on that, you click here. But if you are interested in the components, you know, each and every component of qualitative data analysis, you can just go and open all of them, which is big, of course. And you limit according to the content that you want to look at. And unfortunately, most of the videos we don't have access to. So you limit according to your wishes. You can say, okay, let me start with books, for instance. I'll start with books. Either all books. Sage gives you what they call green and little blue books. So these are free of charge. These are written by experts on this kind of methodology. So you can either use all the little green and blue books, or you can go for all books, which means you'll get a combination of everyone, or you can go for handbooks, or you can just go for books only and apply the filter. So these are all ebooks. So this is your qualitative data analysis book. And most of these we have access to. And in most instances, it will give you a book and give you chapters within that book that you can use for your specific requirement. What is nice with Sage is that you guys can go and open an account. You go and open an account. Unfortunately, I've got an account, but I can't remember my password. I don't want to waste time here. So you open a profile. You open a profile, you create a profile, and every time you click on the Sage Research Methods online database, it says, welcome, Hleziphi. Then what it means is that I'm allowed to add to my list. If I see something that I want to use here, I will be allowed to add it to my list. But you can't add stuff to your list when you don't have a profile with the database. It's free of charge. You don't have to pay for anything. You just open a profile and keep your password. Every time you come in, you just sign in as Hleziphi Napaai. And then it says, welcome, meaning every time I sign in, I go to my profile and look what I've put into my profile, because it's going to save you time instead of you going through all of this and trying to download each and every item that you need, whether it's an article, it's an ebook, it's a reference from, it's a section from an encyclopedia. So it will allow you to add to list. It will only add to your list once you have created a profile. You can't add to list, meaning I must go and reset my password so that I'll be able to put stuff into my ad list where I'll have things placed onto the system. Remember, you are a registered student. You've paid for your registration. All of this is free of charge. So you can open a profile and then use Sage research methods to place all your selected stuff there. So every time you open it and you log in, it says, welcome, so and so. It will keep your profile in check. You can always go and delete some of the stuff that you don't need anymore from your profile and add more as you go along. So this is how you're going to use your methods map. You're either going to start there and search according to the map itself, or you are allowed to just go and do an ordinary search. But what is nice is that just first learn how to use a methods map and go and open a profile so that when you start sending stuff, you know, adding to your list, you will have a profile already. So this is on key concepts in research. These are generic research methodology key concepts. This is an ebook. You can either go and read it online. If I click on it, I can open the entire book and take notes. But it's nice when you have all of this added to your list, because it gives you different chapters. You can either open an ebook and go to different chapters and download it. So this book is on key concepts in social research. So it's got different chapters. There's action research, there's case studies, coding, ethical practice. These are the chapters: grounded theory, everything, methods and methodologies. So any of these chapters are downloadable. If I click on it, it is going to open only that particular chapter, which I can download. There's my download to PDF. And remember here, if you work like this, you haven't opened a profile, you just want to go and download stuff, you have to make sure that you reference properly, because this is not an article. This is a chapter that appears in this book, Key Concepts in Social Research. So you have to reference properly and say, this is the chapter in this book. So in some of these databases, you can either get a link to this chapter, or you can cite it. You can send a citation to yourself. If you click here, it will tell you how you can cite this particular chapter. But you can also download this as a PDF. But to save you to work like getting bits and pieces from everywhere, I think a profile will work well for you. And when you're done with all of those, you can just go and remove that, delete them from your profile. So when you want to cite here, it will give you different citation styles. Let me just bring this up. If I want to click on cite, it will say to you, are you using this kind of citation? Because this is their default. That is the Sage Research Methods default, APA, which is used mainly by the social sciences, like your psychology people are using the APA citation method. If you don't use this kind of citation, you can change it from here. It will give you another option. But remember, with referencing and the citation styles, make sure that you communicate with your lecturers so that they can tell you exactly what style is used in each department. So the common one is Harvard in some of the departments, but there are all of those. So when you arrive on Sage, just select your style of reference so that when the things are sent to you, or when you download these things, they come in a proper style, and it will make your life much more easier. You don't have to Now you've received this from somewhere. You still have to go and check whether the referencing style is okay. So this is actually one of the nicest thing that it will ask you. Most of the databases actually does that. Before you send an email, it will ask you, how do you want us to send this to you? EBSCO also has that. When you send that email to yourself, on your right-hand panel, after that PDF link, there is a citation style of your preference. You can click on that drop-down menu for all the articles that you're sending. Tell the system that I want it in this particular style. ProQuest the same, and all the other databases do have, citation styles that you can select. So you can download it, and if I click on download, it will give me a prompt where I can sort of download it. But this is not me. I'm not going to download this because I'm not studying. But this is how you're going to download it. But remember again that this is in this book with different chapters. So your citation should be properly done. And these are the chapters at the bottom of this. So besides using a methods map to just get an idea how methods are applied, what methods are, which methods are out there. If you're using your methods map, it will give you an exploration of this is what methodologies are. If you undergo this journey, this is what you have to consider. This is how it maps it for you. And then otherwise you have to contain yourself to that particular methodologies, because I understand that there's nothing that annoys some of the lecturers, that people are just do not have an understanding of what methodologies are composed of and what they are all about. So go and use the methods map as soon as you know which method your department, or in consultation with your lecturers, and then you can start going here and looking for information. But besides the methods map, you can just climb here and just do an ordinary search. For instance, let's say you want to learn more about a methodology. Either you type it here, or you just go and explore on the page here. It says here, I want to learn more about how do I do the following. Remember, I also told you about the SAGE knowledge. It's at the bottom. It's linked to this page where you'll get either references or dictionaries, books and references, or that I want to explore either this, or you want to look at data sets, or you want to look at videos. But you can just key in any of the methodologies. Let's say I'm looking for literature review. I want to put it in caps. I have to now do a literature review. I'll tell the system just no data found. Maybe I shouldn't put it in caps. I'll just say literature review and see what SAGE has for me. Okay, let me go and do an advanced search on literature review, because I want information on literature review. Any information on literature review. So can you see that you can just climb on the SAGE research method and do, unfortunately, we don't have this video. It's a tutorial on how you're going to sort of approach literature review. It's actually a nice one. I think I must ask our people to to subscribe to it, because it gives, that loop where you can, this is where you start, you go here, up to here. But there are ones that we subscribe to. So if I don't want to waste your data where you are connected, this is a tutorial of designing your literature review. You can go, it's about 3 minutes. Most of these are actually very short, because we're thinking of bandwidth, and with the data being a challenge, these people, these experts are doing small clips on different topics. So go and have a look. If you were to design your own literature review, how to go about it. So this guy is talking on that. And this is just generic, or if you have a research project, how do you go about it? Some of these are actually closed. And there's another video. This one is about 5 minutes long, how to do a literature review. So you get all of these. Remember, I said you can work through all the content, or you can tell the system, I don't want all the content. I'm only interested on articles on literature review. Then the system does that for you, but you have to apply the filter that you are putting so that you can get to articles on literature review. If you want to start with ebooks, you can do the same. So these are some of the articles that will speak, and in most instances here you'll also get book chapters in some of the books where literature review is explored. So it looks like book references. I've asked for articles. Oh, I didn't remove books. There are no articles, because in some instances, in certain topics, they don't cover articles. There are only a few articles and a lot, because remember, there are articles that you can find in all these other databases. So here you'll find articles, but not as many as you'll find in your normal subject database articles. But there are articles as well. So you can just go and engage with the system and see whether you can pick up any of the research methods, your qualitative, your quantitative. Yeah. So this is how the SAGE research methods works. And if you were to use the SAGE knowledge, which is also key, you can go and do books, references. If you want to look at a definition of terms, for instance, let's say literature review from SAGE knowledge. It gives you as this, and then you search. It will give you an encyclopedic reference to a literature review. So you can go and read it from there. Also, you have to filter, like all the other things, whether you want works and sections of this particular. I don't want, okay. Can you see that you can say you want all content, or you can say you only want content that is available to me, meaning I'm only interested to see things that my university subscribe to. Remember, on the SAGE Research Methods Online, there are those lovely videos that we don't have access to. If you don't want to see that, just say you only want information that, because it's frustrating to look at something that you don't have. So rather say you want to look at the content that is available to you. And in this case, I'm going to say I'm interested in either theories of literature review. Let's see this, all theories as far as literature review is concerned, and then I want maybe encyclopedias, and then apply filters. Use these database. You'll get used to them as soon as you start. This is the reference. It's a handbook on qualitative research in the context of whatever. This is a handbook of communication science. You can go and see what kind of theories of literature reviews are in this particular handbook. It will give you different chapters, approaches to theorizing in communication science. So there are theories that you can look, theoretical framework or theoretical development in organizational communication research. So for communication science students, you can do a search and ask for references, and handbooks will be given to you with different chapters on certain theories that you're looking at. Education, the same. All the other subject areas, you can go and search on Sage Knowledge for your subject area or for a topic, and say you limit according to items that my university has access to. You limit, you filter according to your needs, whether it's handbooks or whether it's just ebooks or whether it's theories of certain topics that you've searched on. And I think I'm going to pause here and hear if there are any other questions, because this is where we're going to end today. Otherwise, your personal librarians in different subject areas, they all have library guides. You go and explore, and if you get stuck, send your librarian an email. I think that's where I'm going to end, Samu.